Nigeria's Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami (SAN), is unhappy and angry about the recent arrest of some persons allegedly funding Boko Haram terrorists, including operators of Samburi the Change, said to have been facilitating the transfer of money to the terrorists, Sahara reporters as lands. A top source in government told Sahara reporters how Malami was opposed to the raid and subsequently at loggerheads with the task force for carrying it out. It had earlier been reported how about 400 persons were arrested for allegedly funding Boko Haram group. The series of arrests were made in Kano, Borno, Abuja, Lagos, Sokoto, Adamawa, Kaduna and Zamfara, according to a Daily Trust report. It was also reported that traders at the foreign exchange open market in Wapa, Fagge local governments were picked up on March 9th, 15th and 16th. Meanwhile, according to the source, apart from Malami opposing the raid, he also opposes having the names of those arrested released to the public. But they released IPOB members, the one that they said is IPOB members, which people are still doubting. But it was easy to release their names. Why? Why would they not? That is a practice. Malami was opposed to the raid, and now he opposes having the names of those arrested revealed. So he is fighting the task force that carried out the raid. He's saying it was illegal. You see, some of those arrested were people he had freed through his special fiat court that sat in Niger State and parts of Abuja. Those guys are wealthy and he wants to collect money from them and let them off, the source told Sahara reporters. It has been reported that 19 Buri, the change owned by persons with direct connection with Boko Haram, were uncovered, while over 300 billion was found to have been pumped into the funding of terrorism in the country. So there is a huge amount of money involved, transferred through illicit means. Those arrested are reportedly being kept in military and Department of State Services facilities in Abuja and other places. But despite Malami's resistance to having their names revealed to the public, the identities of Samburi the Change operators arrested for facilitating the transfer of money to the terrorists have been revealed. Some of them were traders at the foreign exchange open market in Wapa, Fagge local government of Kano State, and identified as Baba Hussaini, Abubakar Yelu Amfani, Yusuf Ali Yusuf Babangida, Ibrahim Shani, Awa Fagge, and Muhammad Lawal, a gold dealer, according to a Daily Trust report. Despite being the nation that has suffered the heaviest casualties through Boko Haram atrocities for many years, with over 30,000 people killed and millions of others displaced, Nigeria has shown weakness in dealing decisively with the terrorists and blocking their source of funding. It took a court in the United Arab Emirates in 2020 to jail 6 Nigerians for funding the terror group. In November 2020, there were reports of how 6 Nigerians were facing prison terms of 10 years to life after a federal appeal court in the United Arab Emirates upheld their convictions for funding the terrorist group Boko Haram. The accused were initially tried and convicted in 2019 following their arrest in 2017. The court in Abu Dhabi therefore sentenced Surajo Abubakar Muhammad and Saleh Yusuf Adamu to life in prison. Ibrahim Ali Hassan, Abdurrahman Ado Musa Shah, Basha Ali Yusuf and Muhammad Ibrahim Isa were each given a 10-year sentence. The court judgment said between 2015 and 2016, the accused transferred $782,000 from Dubai to Nigeria to benefit Boko Haram. Can imagine. Following the successful trial of the 6th person in the UAE, which was a smack in the face for the Nigeria government, an embarrassed presidency felt it hard to do something to save its face, with the international community already doubting its commitment to the fight against terrorism and insurgency in the country. In March 2021, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, said the Nigerian government had arrested some Bureau de Change operators who were facilitating the transfer of money to Boko Haram terrorists. He has said some Nigerians transferring money to the sect from the United Arab Emirates were working with the DBC operators. Bureau de Change are facilitating money to terrorists. We have already worked with the UAE. Convictions have been achieved of Nigerians who are transferring money to Boko Haram terrorists, and this also happens domestically. And I tell you that by the time we finish this investigation, the shocking details will surprise many Nigerians, Shehu had said. In February 2018, a Nigerian court in Kanji, Niger State, freed 475 Boko Haram suspects, with those released for lack of evidence far outweighing those convicted of being members of the Islamist militant group. According to the Justice Ministry, some were suffering from mental illness, but it was not clear whether the conditions existed before their arrest. Also, at a mass trial held in October 2017, more than 400 suspects were released, with just 45 jailed for their roles in the Boko Haram insurgency. The AGF and Justice Minister Malami are told the BBC that the released suspects would be rehabilitated before being allowed to return to their families. Just last weekend, governors of the state battling with Boko Haram terrorism in the northeast asked the Nigerian government to issue a special fiat different from the general one issued earlier to enable them to speedily prosecute suspects arrested for terrorism. In separate interviews with Sunday Punch, the governors of Adamawa, Borno and Yobe states, who spoke through their commissioners of justice and attorneys generals, noted that the fiat issued by Malami, which allows states to prosecute federal offenses, was not enough to prosecute suspected terrorists. For instance, Commissioner for Justice in Borno State, Mr. Kaka Shehu Lawal, confirmed receiving from the AGF the general fiat to prosecute federal offenders, but noted that they needed specific fiat for cases related to Boko Haram. Shehu, who spoke on behalf of Governor Babagana Zulum, said, "Yes, I am in receipt of the general fiat by the Attorney General of the Federation to prosecute all offenders who commit federal offenses in any of the 36 of the Federation, but Malami, didn't give us a specific fiat to prosecute Boko Haram insurgents. What we want from the Attorney General of the Federation is for him to give us a specific fiat and collaboration to prosecute Boko Haram insurgents in the 3 states of Adamawa, Borno and Yobe states, where the Boko Haram insurgents commit crime against the Nigerian Federation." You see their life? You see their life. And some people will tell you that, oh, why should they say that some people should not talk about secession? It does not matter, leave them. They are the one fanning embers of all. But see all the atrocities. Why is he angry? No innocent minister in Buhari's government. Biafra must be restored. God will expose more of them, including their defendants. Strange news always come from the north. They are the ones fighting for one Nigeria, but refuse to be human for other responsible regions to be proud of being together. The question of the northern leaders on Patami issue speaks volume of the quietness. The quietness of the northern leaders. They will not say anything. All of them keep quiet, but they are looking for how to come again to talk when anything happens in the south. When the fire we belittle becomes an inferno, even firefighter tremble. It is clear the length of time and financial resources so far wasted in attempting to stamp out Boko Haram mess has all been a despicable waste of precious time. They are all in it together. He just did it to avoid more exposure. I have said it before, and I'm saying it now. It is really hard to identify who is not a terrorist sympathizer in Buhari's administration. Sheikh Pantami is trending on Twitter for President 2023. I blame no one but Lord Lugard for this failed experiment called Nigeria. So guys, let's hear your opinion and let's have your take on this. Thank you.